name is Mohammed.
My name is Albert Sorry, in the Oti Region, and
my name is Edwin Official.
I am Rafik Salami Wa.
Hello and welcome. On this show, we take you on a trip across all of Ghana's 16 regions.
We bring you closer to the hard-to-reach communities and share important stories that didn't make the headlines. I am Nicholas Ekow, Yamoah.
And I am Esther, Nkrumah, and this is from Our Correspondents.
I am Rafik Salami Wa.
Welcome back. Let's get into the stories. Now, more than a quarter of students at CK Kope in the Biakoye District of the Oti Region have been affected by ringworm. Health officials attribute the outbreak to poor hygiene among pupils and the lack of potable drinking water. With medication support from the area's Member of Parliament, officials have moved in to address the situation. There's more in the following report.
CK Kope is an island community near Tapabotoasi in the Biakoye District of the Oti Region. Separated from Tapabotoasi by the Volta Lake, one would have to reach the community by boat or canoe. The community has benefited from this structure by Star Oil Limited. This is to serve the community and stop learners from risking their lives on a daily basis from crossing the river to Tapabotoasi for education. Of the 250 learners at the school, over a quarter of them have shown signs of ringworm. This, health officials say, is due to poor hygiene among pupils. Rita Urapa is the district director for health services at the Biakoye District.
We've realized that this school, almost half of the total population of 250 are having ringworm, which is also one of the neglected tropical diseases. So our mission in this school is to take action, to act and eradicate the neglected tropical diseases that we have observed in the school. Skin infections mainly is due to poor hygiene. And we realize that they don't have any potable water in the whole community. And they all depend on the lake. So poor hygiene can be a result of this infection.
The Member of Parliament for Biakoye constituency, Jean-Marie Fomadi, says the situation was said to be distracting quality teaching and learning, hence her intervention.
When I heard that about 50-something people are showing signs of ringworm, I got alarmed. Once a teacher, always a teacher. I'm a teacher by profession, so I get attached to children and also get worried when things are happening to children. When they find themselves in these situations, the itches and all that will not give them the comfort to study. They will not concentrate on their education.
Rita Urapa is calling on parents to ensure proper hygiene among pupils, while also calling on government for the provision of potable drinking water.
We are advising that potable water should be provided for them, and there should be strict supervision by parents to maintain personal hygiene.
The district chief executive for Biakoye District, Ekow, says the provision of potable drinking water is on the front burner of the district assembly's budget. Parents have also made a call to the health directorate to extend the treatment exercise to the entire community to prevent reinfection. Peter Sanu for Joy News.
In education, the KJB District Chief Executive, Dr. Sam Isaka, has cut sword for a 3-unit classroom block in Yajo to end a year of multi-grade teaching caused by lack of space. The junior high school block was destroyed by a rainstorm, forcing the school to merge junior classes to accommodate seniors. More details in the following report.
About a year ago, rainstorm hit the Yajo community and destroyed this 3-unit mud building that was put up by the community to enable learners in the community have unimpeded access to higher education. The situation was said to have compelled managers at the school to collapse the junior classes to make way for the accommodation of the junior high school learners. Nafiu Adam is the assembly member for Yajo electoral area. According to him, the situation was a difficult one to manage.
Yeah, it was not easy at all. We packed the lower classes, that's the class 1, class 2 in one class, class 3, class 4 in another class, and another class to the same, to give way for GSS students to have their room to learn. That is it. That is how we are managing the situation. It is not easy, but how for do we are managing it like that. Yeah.
So you think this project is timely and would solve that problem?
That is very, very, very timely. So we are hoping that DC have even told us that by 6 months later, the project will be completed so that it will give comfortable, room for our students to learn. So we are very grateful.
The DC for KGB District, Dr. Samsuraj Isaka, says the construction of this 3-unit classroom block is to last at most for 6 months, with funding already procured from the District Assembly Common Fund.
The project is supposed to last for 6 months, yes, because the funding, everything is already intact. For this particular project, we have the funds down. So even the 6 months, I think it should even be less than that. It's going to be 3-unit classroom block with the office space and then the stores. They're going to have a water facility with I think 10,000 liters polytank. We are also thinking of having, some girls' changing room attached to the facility, so that the girls can have a place when they go for pee and other things. We want to give them some sort of privacy where they can change and store some other girls' things when they have.
Peter Sen for Joy News.
Let's head to the Upper West region now, because Supreme Court Judge Yoni Kulendi and former students are opposing the demolition of the Tindamba Primary School for a 24-hour market. Established 70 years ago with 370 pupils, the school has produced many professionals. Now, Yoni Kulendi urged the Assembly to build more schools instead of replacing them with markets. Rafiq Salam has more in this report.
This is the maiden meeting of the local government, chieftaincy and religious affairs minister Ahmed Ibrahim with members of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs since he took over office last year. His engagement with members of the August House that comprise of paramount chiefs and the Queen Mothers is to familiarize with them, listen to their concerns with a view to finding solutions to them. Fairly to the 24-hour economy policy of the government, which included the construction of 24-hour markets, Ahmed Ibrahim poo-pooed plans by the War Municipal Assembly to collapse the Tindamba Primary School for the construction of the 24-hour economic market. He was emphatic and straight to the point, and that the Tindamba Primary School, which was established in 1956, will not be pulled down.
I heard in the news yesterday that a school is being converted to a 24-hour market. Kore, it is not coming from my ministry. And I don't think President Mama will endorse that. So we will not collapse a school to build a market. Even if somebody has taken that step, that person needs to consult the Minister of Local Government.
That notwithstanding, he asserted that the market will be constructed at a different place rather than raising down a 70-year-old primary school.
Koro, we are building 261 markets in 261 districts. And we do the location together with the traditional authorities. And it must be a place that can be used 24/7. So if it is a school, don't go and raise down a school that is over 70 years old. That is not coming from the office of the president or the minister for local government. But that does not mean that the market will not be built. The market must be built, but join forces together, pull ideas together, consult together, and you get another strategic location where the market must be built. But to say you are going to raise a whole school, at least we should learn lessons from when we pull down judges' houses to say we are going to build a cathedral.
The local government, chieftaincy and religious affairs minister reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of the government's respect for the chieftaincy institution as enshrined in the country's constitution. He paid encomiums and laudations on the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs, stating that it occupies a uniquely strategic position within Ghana's governance architectural structure. The Banda legislature, however, conceded that despite the critical role played by the chiefs and the Queen Mothers, they face enormous challenges. He penciled steps taken to tackle some of them.
Government have taken steps to have the amount allocated for adjudication of cases every quarter increase from 30,000 Ghana cedis to 50,000 Ghana cedis, effective 1st April 2026.
Vice President of the Upper West Regional House of Chiefs, Kura Abu Diaka Sunkebe Nania the Fifth, was praising the government for increasing their monthly allowances. He however tabled some concerns the House will want the minister to help fix.
Many of us do not have traditional councils to function, and I'm sure the merger of the two ministries indicates clearly that our support will come from the local government sector. We play an important role in terms of mobilizing people and resolving conflicts which would have in our absence evolved to become very deadly. But we need administrative officers to function adequately.
Reporting for Dre News, Rafik Salam.
Still in the education sector, Ghana's rising student enrollment is worsening the accommodation deficit in tertiary institutions, affecting academics, discipline and welfare. In Kita, Sekondi Takoradi, the Justmon Group has eased the pressure by commissioning a new hostel for students of the University of Mines and Technology School of Railway and Infrastructure Development, improving both accommodation and students' life.
At Katan in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis, concrete and steel rose, but what was truly commissioned was hope, a new hostel facility for students of the University of Mines and Technology School of Railway and Infrastructure Development, a project driven by the Yamoah Group. Responding to a challenge many tertiary institutions in Ghana know too well, accommodation. For Dr. Justice Amo, this project was born out of simple but powerful belief that students thrive when they live in safe, decent, and supportive environments.
Many tertiary institutions face serious accommodation challenges, and the Esikado campus is not exception. These hostels are therefore our humble contribution to reducing that burden and helping to create a space that supports learning, discipline, and personal development. The Yamoah Hotels concept includes space for religious, recreation, and healthcare facilities. It also includes a training and counseling center for our dear students. And each block has a capacity to accommodate over 500 students.
The Vice Chancellor of UMAT, Professor Richard Kwesi Amankwa, puts the agency into context.
The UMAT School of Railway and Infrastructure Development began in 2001 with a student population of 241. And at that time, because we had just 241 students, the railway hostel or hall was capable of taking care of more than 95% of the students. Currently, the number is 3,300. And I'm hoping that by the time the admission season is over, we will be about 3,500. With this large number and the path that the school was working on, it became necessary for us to get some very strategic partners to support the work that is going on here.
Former Railway Minister Joe Gate used the occasion to remind both leaders and young people of a deeper lesson. Quoting scriptures, he urged the youth to write their vision clearly, because even if the dream delays, it will surely come to pass.
So what will you be remembered for? What will you leave behind? We are charting a course in this world that when people start judging you, you will not be there. People will remember you for the good things that you have done. So my advice to you young people is that you are all in leadership position. Have your own vision. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 says, write your vision upon the table. Though it shall tarry, it shall come to pass.
Now, Brigadier General Franklin Wanyano Agbegbo has urged Ghana Armed Forces personnel to act professionally and avoid harassing civilians. He noted operations are on a need-to-know basis and advised the public to contact the Department of Public Relations for information. His remarks came during a ceremony at the 10th Mechanized Battalion in Wa.
Speaking at a ceremony to hand over the command of the 10th Mechanized Battalion from Lieutenant Colonel Gofet Asampong to Lieutenant Colonel James Bompo Palmer, General Officer Commandant, Northern Command, Brigadier General Franklin Wanyano Agbegbo noted that since the establishment of the 10th Mechanized Battalion, it has played a critical role in safeguarding Ghana's territorial integrity within its areas of operations. He stated that the unit has demonstrated professionalism, resilience, and operational effectiveness in the execution of its core mandate, thereby providing and contributing significantly to the achievement of the strategic objectives of the Ghana Armed Forces. He used the recent arrest of suspected terrorists to back his claim.
Through your effective vigilance, the unit patrols along the borders, Burkina Faso border, was able to arrest some suspected terrorists and their equipment, though later it turned out to be regular Burkina Faso soldiers on patrol who later got lost. Notwithstanding that, we need to applaud you for that singular achievement. Now, Ghana knows that they can sleep with all their eyes open.
Brigadier General Franklin Wanyano commended the government for the recent donation of vehicles and armored personnel carriers aimed at retooling the Ghana Armed Forces to enhance mobility and operational efficiency. He however admonished them to justify the investment doled out to them.
Recently, we have received some vehicles and other equipment from the Ghana government. We have some pickups, buses, and APCs. He has also promised to complete the rest of the FOBs so that we can have a better and conducive working atmosphere. Northern Command definitely will have issues in all this equipment that have been provided. What we have to do is to work harder and justify the investment of the government in us.
Whilst cautioning soldiers to be professional in the discharge of their duties, he urged members of the public not to take the law into their own hands.
We are not to molest them. We are not to bully them. Sometimes they can be annoying, but as a professional soldier, restrain yourself. In case you are in doubt, consult your commander. Anybody who approaches you on your duty point, asking questions, refer that person to your commander. To the general public, military operations are strictly on need-to-know basis. If you have to know, our Department of Public Relations will announce our presence. If you don't need to know, you have no authority to question our duties. In case you still need to know what we are doing, you have the right to go to the commander, identify yourself properly, and you'll be briefed as to the operation. You don't take the laws into your own hand.
Outgoing commanding officer of the 10th Mechanized Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Gofet Asampong, enumerated some successes chalked, attributing it to the collective support of the officers and men at the home of the hippos.
Notable projects undertaken during my tenure include the refurbishment of the unit main gate and junior ranks nest, installation of a dedicated power transformer, establishment of a laboratory facility for the 10th Mechanized Reception Station, construction and renovation of the unit basketball and volleyball courts, provision of indoor recreational facilities, renovation of the unit mosque, construction of obstacle training area, establishment of a water production factory, which is about 50% complete, creation of upstairs and senior institute messes, construction of NC and LED offices, and the construction of a washing bay and organizing shop.
Yarba has this advice for the incoming commanding officer, Lieutenant James Bampo Palmer.
Always remember to prioritize training, welfare, open communication, and ensure that every soldier feels valued and heard. Having discussed the demands of this command extensively, I am confident that you lead this unit to even greater heights.
Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Asempong handed the flag of the 10th Mechanized Battalion to Lieutenant Colonel Bampo Palmer and a wooden carved hippo, which is the totem of the 10th Mechanized Battalion. The beautiful ceremony, however, turned emotional. Lieutenant Colonel Godfrey Asempong was slowly pulled out, mounting an armored personnel carrier, winking few smiles, accompanied with dozens of hand waves. He now heads to the Techi camp as the chief instructor for the Army Combat Training School. Reporting for Dwe News, Rafiq Salam.
You're still watching from Our Correspondent here on the Joy News channel. Now, stakeholders at a consultative dialogue on chieftaincy succession disputes have urged traditional authorities and the chieftaincy ministry to initiate a codification of succession procedures across all traditional areas. The call was made at a forum organized by the Bunu Regional Peace Council in Sinyan, where participants stressed that succession plans are key to promoting peace, development and orderly governance in the region. Precious Semevo has more.
In the Bunu region, about half of the 19 paramountcies and divisional areas are facing one chieftaincy conflict or another. The situation has been attributed to intra- and inter-concerns as expressed by participants at a Bunu Regional Peace Council dialogue in Sunyai on the theme Ensuring Peaceful Chieftaincy Successions, the Role of Stakeholders. The dialogue also focused on causes of succession disputes, including installment of substituted chiefs, deliberate marginalization of royal gates, their escalation and steps for prevention and management. Bunu Peace Council chairperson Professor Duchumwa Dechi underscored the impact of chieftaincy conflicts in the region.
When succession issues are not well managed, families are divided, communities are polarized, developmental are stalled, and peace is threatened. These situations do not only affect traditional authorities, they affect local governments, they affect security agencies, investors. We are not here to accuse anyone.
Dr. Kwejuajiman of the Complementary Education Agency explained that chieftaincy problems are mainly created by the members of the chieftaincy institutions.
A law must be made by the Minister of Chieftaincy Affairs to commit every traditional state to write its true history, indicating the line of succession and the mode of selecting a chief, put at the National House of Chiefs, Regional House of Chiefs, and then at the Court of Law. If we have all those things, some of these problems that we are encountering will not happen. Sometimes we blame the politicians, but I'm telling you, a politician manipulates existing chieftaincy conflict to his advantage.
In a communique issued at the end of the dialogue, the Executive Secretary of the Bunu Peace Council, Swalab Dela Kwanda, called for the codification of customs and chieftaincy succession procedures to promote peace and development in the Bunu region.
Stakeholders are calling on the traditional authorities or institutions concerned to consider a project of codifying succession procedures as a critical intervention to ensure peace, stability, and orderly governance within the traditional institutions in the region. Indeed, codification of chieftaincy procedures will bring clarity and promote peaceful succession of chiefs. The stakeholders agree that peaceful resolution of chieftaincy disputes hinges on the active involvement of all stakeholders and have resolved to work together in dealing with the situation. The Bunu Regional Peace Council, on the other hand, commits to follow up actions.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, Sunyai.
You're still watching from Our Correspondent here on the Joy News channel. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more stories.
My
name is Mohammed. My name is Albert Sorry.
My name is Edwin Official. I am Rafik Salami Wa.
Welcome back from the break. Let's do more stories. The African Footprint Foundation has commissioned a rehabilitation center in Cape Coast to provide specialized care for persons living with stroke, dementia, Parkinson's disease, and other neurological conditions. The facility aims to promote awareness of the role of physical therapy in recovery and quality of life. At the commissioning, Danish ambassador to Ghana, Jacob Lenoff, said training of local personnel has begun to ensure sustainable specialized care. Esther Nkrumah has more in the following report.
African Footprint Foundation and its flagship African Footprint International collaborated with Denmark to commission a rehabilitation center in Cape Coast to provide specialized care for persons living with Parkinson's disease. Recognizing African music and dance as effective therapeutic tools, the founder of the African Footprint Foundation, Samuel Kweku Addison, explained that the center will also offer care and support for persons affected by stroke and dementia.
I would say that anybody who is suffering from Parkinson's, when I started the idea for the rehabilitation center, I said that anybody suffering from Parkinson's will access it fully. And those who have stroke and other things. But those who have good health and would like to train to maintain or sustain their energy or whatever, then they could contribute to sustain the whole project. But I have been working in Denmark in the health and care department, and because of that, I have been able to understand what they need, and I use music and dance to reach them. And I got to know that the dementia respond very much to music. At least it helps them to get their condition better.
Speaking at the event, the Danish ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Jacob Lenoff, disclosed that experts have already begun training local personnel alongside more than 20 students to deliver specialized services at the facility.
So there are actually quite a few things for this. This center in Green Hills in Cape Coast, it is already now a center for cultural exchange between Denmark and Ghana. So today we have seen more than 20 young students coming out here. We have seen this group of young physiotherapist students who will stay here for several weeks to help educate and train locals who can then use the facilities here for local people in Cape Coast and neighboring area who suffer from different kinds of lifestyle diseases. So I hope the center here will be available for that. And then we also have Danish musicians who work with Ghanaian musicians. So we have this musical twist to healthcare where the happiness that comes from music also transfers to the happiness of our minds.
Meanwhile, the head of the board of African Footprint Foundation in Denmark, Marge Morgensterne, noted that the project will not only raise awareness but also prioritize collaboration and capacity building.
This project will create awareness. We will go out with some pop-ups in the villages and other places in Cape Coast and tell about it. And then people can come forward to this clinic and also to our collaboration with the teaching hospital and UCC and get advices. So we have the students here, but we also collaborate with physiotherapists in Ghana. So we work together and we inspire each other and we will build up capacity.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Moving on, residents and traders in Komenda and its catchment communities have raised concerns over what they describe as the unfair application of measurement in the ongoing expansion of the Cape Coast Takoradi Highway. According to them, recent development indicates that the planned demolition exercise would affect only one side of the road, and they are therefore appealing to government and the Minister of Roads and Highways to intervene and address the situation.
For several months, plans have been underway to expand the Cape Coast-Takoradi Highway, with demolition exercises along portions of the road already in progress. However, traders and residents of Komenda in the Komenda Dinegwa-Fabre municipality are expressing strong displeasure over what they describe as an unfair implementation of the road expansion process. At a press conference, resident and trader Felicia Tibu Mensah questioned the recent changes to the initial measurements, demanding clarity and answers from the authorities.
We just want to know why they have added that second measurement, because for the initial measurement, we are aware from the 300 left, 300 right. But right now, on 7 January, they came and made another second measurement, which we don't know anything about it. And the extension too is too wide, which we don't even know what is going on. And up till now, from 7 January till now, nobody has even come around to say anything about it, as they did it for the first time. So for us, for being here, our only plea was that we are only pleading the road for the road minister to come, and please, he should come and say something to us, because we just don't understand what is going on. We are troubled. We are all troubled. From 7 January that they made this measurement, we've been disturbed up to now. If they come and tell us that, oh, now there's a changes, we will not say anything. But for now that we don't know anything, they've not come to tell us anything. It's like we are not happy at all. So they should come and say something to us. This is what we are only pleading for.
Another resident and trader, George Kumsin, explained that while the original plan provided equal measurements on both sides of the highway, recent developments suggest the demolition will largely affect only one side of the road. He therefore called on government and the Roads and Highways Minister to intervene.
Initially, they came here to tell us that the road, they will do it, they will take one side and the other side. But now, we don't know what is going on. They wanted to push all the two lanes to one side. That is not fair. So we're pleading to Road Minister and President to come and explain why they want to push all the road to one side. This one is national project. We can't stop them. We want the initial measurement. We don't want any problem here. So as we are talking, we need Road Minister and President to come in to tell us what is going on right now.
From Komenda, Abigail Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Now, a study by fishery stakeholders and Sustainable Futures has found that a return to traditional fishing practices could boost aquatic yields, despite the close season affecting artisanal fishing. Now, speaking at the stakeholder meeting in Cape Coast on the Sankofa project, Nana Kweja, president of the Canoe and Fishing Gear Owners Association of Ghana, said the initiative aims to integrate indigenous knowledge into formal fisheries management, noting the fisheries minister's interest in enforcing traditional fishing holiday through a bylaw.
The Sankofa project is a collaborative initiative involving the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, the Canoe and Fishing Gear Owners Association of Ghana, the Fisheries Commission, and the Fisheries Committee for the West Central Gulf of Guinea. Speaking at a validation exercise on the project held in Cape Coast, a lecturer in Sustainable Futures at the University of St. Andrews, Dr. Ifesinachi Okafor-Yarwood, said the initiative seeks to assess the impact of fisheries policies on actors within the fisheries sector.
I'm just going to call it the Sankofa project because that is what the local people in Ghana have called it, because the main impetus for it is that we wanted to understand how men and women are affected by fisheries conservation policies, in this instance, fisheries close season. We also then wanted to know whether there are lessons we can learn from how our ancestors conserved the fish stock, and when we learn that lessons, whether there are ways we can integrate those knowledge with scientific practices for a more equitable fisheries practices, because we are finding, at least from the existing research that currently is available, not only in Ghana but other West African countries, that some of the conservation measures are pushing people further into poverty. And so we wanted to know, one, what is the impact of fisheries closure on men and women? And two, are there lessons that we can learn from how our ancestors conserved fish so that we can bring it back today with the view of ensuring more equitable fisheries conservation practices?
The president of the Canoe and Fishing Gear Owners Association of Ghana, Nana Kweja, noted that the project also focuses on examining the gendered effects of the fishing close season on the artisanal fishing sector.
You may have heard of the minister's interest in working with the local government to have a bylaw in place to enforce the traditional fishing holiday, because the preliminary findings that were shared suggested that across the communities, fishers are ready and wish that the traditional holiday is enforced to the letter for every community to observe, instead of the current situation where some communities observe and some communities do not observe. And so we are looking forward to the ministry implementing the recommendations that will come out of this.
Also present, the Central Regional Director of Fisheries, Emmanuel Kwame Dovlo, assured stakeholders that fishers will be actively involved in data collection, adding that the law will be firmly enforced to address compliance challenges.
We will try and see how best regularly we can obtain data from the fishers, because if they also contribute data, that is where they will support what we are doing. For compliance issues, I'm ready to enforce the law. So I'll make sure that all those who are engaged in illegal fishing, they are brought to book and the law takes its course. I'm ready to undertake that action.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
After years of prolonged water crisis in the Asin Nsuta community in the Asin South District of the Central Region, residents are experiencing renewed hope following the commissioning of a mechanized borehole by Joy News impact maker Wadi Joseph Tete Afangba. According to the assembly member of the Asin Nsuta electoral area, Bashiru Dakun, the intervention is timely as residents, particularly children, will no longer struggle to access safe drinking water or travel long distance to search for this basic necessity.
About 4,000 residents, including children, in the Asin Nsuta Mbemu community in the Asin South District of the Central Region will benefit from the life-changing water project initiated by Joy News impact maker Wadi Joseph Tete Afangba through his non-governmental organization, Young Visionary Leaders Ghana. Speaking at the commissioning of the mechanized borehole, Mr. Afangba described the project as a testament to the power of collaboration in driving sustainable development.
At Young Visionary Leaders Ghana, our vision has always been clear: a world for every child and young person, a better place to thrive. This water project is a living example of what happens when international partners, local NGOs, governments, local government, district assemblies, traditional leaders, and communities come together with one purpose, and that purpose is sustainable development. Let us therefore continue to strengthen partnerships, build trust, promote accountability, and place communities at the center of development. In closing, I want to say this: water is life, partnership is power, ownership is sustainability. And so therefore, we encourage you all to ensure that we keep on with this partnership that leads to sustainable development.
The assembly member for the Nsuta electoral area, Bashiru Dakun, expressed delight at the intervention, which will ease the long-standing water challenges faced by residents.
Yeah, today we are very much happy to have this water project in our community. Our appreciation goes to the Young Visionary Leaders Ghana and its partners. We are very much appreciative and thankful to them, because when we were not having this, we were having, in fact, acute shortage of water, although we have some water supply in the community, but sometimes it has not come. As I'm talking to you now, for the past 2 weeks, we haven't had any water in our various houses. So we depend on wells and other rivers for our survival. So this thing, I think, is going to be very supportive to we, the residents of Assin Nsuta. And so we say that we are very much grateful to them.
Also expressing appreciation on behalf of the community was the Kronsi Hinin of Assin Nsuta in Bemu, Nana Seinti Akusi, who commended the donors for their timely support.
Young Vision Leaders Ghana say adia omaye ama Assin Nsuta no.
Our utmost gratitude goes to Young Visionary Leaders Ghana for their extraordinary benevolence. We really appreciate what they have done for our community. Water is life, and life is water. We are also grateful for our DCE who remembered our water challenges and interceded on our behalf. From Assin Nsuta, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
And that's our show for today. Many thanks to our correspondents for bringing us up to speed with what's happening in the country. And many thanks to you too for doing the watching. I am Esther Nkrumah and I've been doing this with.
I am Nicholas Ekow. Yamoah, thank you so much once again for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.
Bye.
Edwin I am my name is Sorry
in the Oti Region, and
name is Edwin I am Salami Wa.